We are the Leadership Skagit Class of 2021, Team Happy Tales. Our team advisor is Mary Staley, Class of 2017, who encouraged us countless hours and never let us give up. Our team members consist of Andy Dugan from Skagit Legal Aid. Andy and his partner relocated to Western Washington from Ohio just a short time ago, and in that short time, Andy has made a huge impact in our community. During our leadership journey, Andy has taken on more responsibilities at work and on our team. Andy's growth and journey has been inspiring, to say the least. He always volunteers for opportunities to support our team and our community. Andy is caring, brilliant, and brave. Andy's support for vulnerable populations in our community is one example of his dedication to promote equity and inclusion for everyone. I'm a better person for getting to meet Andy and become friends. I was fortunate to be part of such a wonderful team with Andy, and I can't wait to see all the ways he betters our community.
Charlie Anderson is a lifelong resident of Skagit County. She is the president and owner of Mount Baker Overhead Garage Doors, which is a decades-old family-run company. To say that Charlie wears a lot of hats is an understatement of the year. In addition to her responsibilities with her business, Charlie absolutely can be described as a super mom and spouse. Every time she talks about her son, she beams with pride. I thought I loved animals, but that was before I met Charlie. Due to her involvement with local animal organizations, including 4-H, Charlie gets to nurture animals in need. During our team meetings, Charlie would regularly be tending to her baby goats or outside with their foster horse. Charlie's compassion for animals and her dedication to Skagit County is contagious. She has been the driving force behind our project. This would not have happened without her. I am a better person, and Skagit County is a better place because of Charlie Anderson.
Justin Smock, Skagit Valley College. Justin has been a great asset to our team. He has brought the inclusive side to leadership, always thinking about how he can include anyone and everyone. Justin has shown us there are no boundaries. He has often had us opening our eyes to see things from a different side while still being fun and entertaining. As a team member, he has always been quick to offer helpful opinions and information. Justin's approach on leadership makes him unique and a genuine person.
Now I have the pleasure to introduce Tamash Benchik. Tamash is a family man. Thanks to his being part of Team Happy Tales, we have enjoyed the beautiful smile of his little girl, who joined several of our Leadership Skagit Challenge days and team meetings together with their furry companions. Tamash is the project manager for Kaufman Engineers and a true servant leader. He is the mind behind the Skagit Pet Pantry's website, as well as many of the technical aspects of the project funding efforts. Although we all felt very strong about designing a project to support animals in need and keep families together, we were not exactly sure how we would make it happen, until Tamash did some research and came up with the project Skagit Pet Pantries. We all jumped to the idea. Tamash's creativity and cool sense of humor also gave the name to our team, Team Happy Tales. Thank you, Tamash, and welcome again.
I get the honor of introducing Sylvia Reed. Sylvia works for the Mount Vernon Chamber of Commerce and is a longtime Skagit County resident. Sylvia brought a breadth of experience to our team in regard to engaging the community. Her relationships and knowledge were invaluable to the success of the project. As a team member, she was quick to provide words of encouragement and praise to the rest of the team, be it during times of success or times of struggle. She was also always conscious of ensuring that our project stayed focused on our original goals and that it was inclusive and accessible as it could be. She was never afraid to ask a question, and that led to great discussions and growth of our team and project. In addition, Sylvia is our media guru and has done a fantastic job of spreading the word about our project throughout the community, culminating in our greatly successful Stop the Bus food drive.
Our team members care about the community and actively support initiatives and organizations that are making a difference locally. People in Skagit County face unique challenges. The initial step of our project was a discussion about the unmet needs of the people living here. It did not take long for us to realize where our heart was. We were passionate about animals and young people, so the idea to support both causes through our Leadership Skagit project made perfect sense to all of us.
From the beginning, we're interested in partnering with Skagit Animals in Need and Skagit 4-H. One of our team members, Tomasz, was very creative and suggested the name of Happy Tails for our team. We all loved it. He also gave us the tagline and mission of the project to help our furry, scaly, and feathered friends during hard times. We know how important it is to keep our pets with us, especially during times of hardship. Our pets bring happiness, joy, and forgiveness that isn't always present in the outside world. If people couldn't afford to take care of their animals, then they would have to give up on them. That means giving up on a family member. At one of the food banks we visited, the manager said that there is a large amount of people who take food for themselves and then get home and split it out between themselves and their animals. This means they're willing to sacrifice eating themselves to take care of their animals.
Skagit Animals in Need is a large animal rescue that operates in Skagit County. They have a program that helps those in need with veterinary bills, feed, etc. for large animals. We wanted to try and figure out how to incorporate small animals into what they are already doing. Members of Skagit County 4-H are required to have recorded volunteer hours each year that is reflected in their annual record books. At times, it can be hard for them to find projects where they can volunteer, especially those members who range in age from 5 to 18 years old. Partnering with the Skagit Pet Pantries gives them a specific project that allows them to get their annual volunteer hours in and meets the mission of 4-H.
Our first thought was building pet pantries and putting them out at street corners or in front of churches or libraries. It would be a freestanding unit that anyone could visit any time to get pet food. When presenting this to Skagit Animals in Need, their board came back with the liability part of it all. Having an attorney on our team, Andy, has been very valuable. He worked on the legal aspects of this project. We were also worried about damage to the pantries and who would take care of them. The second question came into play: where would we store the food? Skagit Animals in Need didn't have the room for it, so what were we going to do?
We decided to go a different direction and started having talks with other nonprofit organizations that support our animals in need. However, exploring those alternatives didn't work out since the changes would have affected the mission of our project. For a moment, we felt defeated. However, one of the strengths of our team has always been not to spend much time in the problem, but looking for new and better options to accomplish our mission. We knew that going back to the drawing board would be one of the steps in serving our community in the best way possible.
That is when we as a team dug deeper. Justin and Charlie visited a food pantry and found out how they operate. A light bulb went off when they found out that all the food banks in the area get food from the distribution center in Sedro-Woolley. Andy reached out to the distribution center and we found our needle in the haystack. The distribution center does get donated pet food at times, and they have certain food banks that request it when it's available. We got a commitment from them that they will divvy out the pet food they receive to the pet pantries if they were located at food banks. We went back to Skagit Animals in Need and asked, if we build these pantries and put them at food banks in the area, would they be able to get the food from the distribution center on their weekly runs? And if Skagit 4-H was able to help with the volunteering side of things, would they be on board? Houston, we have a plan. It all started falling into place.
Our team had already secured funding for building these pantries from a wonderful donor, Susan Kiernan. She's a Leadership Skagit alum, as well as a previous team coach and master coach. She gave us relief from the fundraising piece of the project and gave us valuable knowledge for the project. This was an amazing gift from Susan. We started reaching out and finding permanent food pantry locations. We had a commitment from Concrete and Mount Vernon pretty early on, but quickly got commitments from Clear Lake, Anacortes, and La Conner as well.
Charlie's husband Chad came up with a template to build their pantries and started cutting out all the pieces for our work party. The team got together along with Chad and my husband Marlin and constructed the pantries. It was a great team building event and the very first time our team was together.
Our team wanted to make sure that not only did we have a supply of food to start with, but that there would be a way to sustain a fund that would help out when food was not available. We came up with 3 ways to raise funds. Our first fundraising event was the Fast and Furious virtual race. Anyone from around the world could sign up during a 7-day period, and they would get outside with their animals to do just that: run, walk, bike, hike, or ride, and post pictures on social media. Their entry included a t-shirt that helped get the word out in the community about the pantries. Even some odd members of the world got into this, and Charlie's sons Landon put a t-shirt on their mini horse and took him for walks. We raised $564 to begin the fund.
Skagit Animals in Need adjusted their PayPal link to include options for people to make direct donations to the pantries. With this link, we were able to raise just over $1,000 to add to our fund. Thanks to the many talents and skills brought on by our team members, each of us had the opportunity to contribute in a different and meaningful way. Tomasz launched the SkagitPetPantries.org website, where people are able to learn more about the project, how it all started, and how they can contribute. Tomasz was a key in managing the donations coming in that would support this project.
Now that the pantries had been built, it was time to stock them. We wanted a big kickoff event that would not only bring the pet food that was needed for our project, but that would bring the level of marketing and outreach that a new project needs. And so it happened. Sylvia started working with Skagit Transit and the Country Store in Burlington, and on May 15th, we hosted a Stuff the Bus pet food drive. The event was spread on social media everywhere we looked, and it got great coverage from the Skagit Valley Herald in 2 of their issues. The LaConner Weekly News also helped to spread the word, as well as Burlington, LaConner, and Mount Vernon Chambers of Commerce, who blasted the event in their digital marketing.
It was a beautiful sunny day when our entire team met up for the very first time. Skagit 4-H, Skagit Animals in Need, Skagit Transit, and our team were present for the event, and we brought in 1,541 pounds of pet food and $578 in donations. A Skagit County 4-H club, Skagit Valley Livestock 4-H, held a fundraiser in April to donate the proceeds to Skagit Pet Pantries. They do an annual fundraiser adopting a nonprofit to give back to. Fortunately, Charlie's son is the president of the club, and our pantries were recommended as the nonprofit to give back to this year. They presented us with a $1,000 check.
In order to sustain this program, we needed donation locations that the food banks could be in contact with to collect donated food from the community. We have donation locations to date in the following locations: Mount Vernon Red Apple, Chuckanut Valley Vet, Country Store in Burlington and Mount Vernon, the Pioneer Market, and the Clear Lake Covenant Church. More locations are being added as our work continues. Over a week's time, we're able to get the pantries to their final destinations and get them set up. It is such a remarkable feeling seeing this project come to a completion and knowing that we are going to help those furry, scaly, and feathered family members stay in their homes. As part of our diversity and inclusion efforts, our 3-minute video presentation has been translated into Spanish by Sylvia and is available in American Sign Language by Justin's wife, Shelby.
My own personal leadership journey this year is similar to many others. We all needed to learn to adapt with COVID. COVID dictated how we work, live, and interact with each other. Between the lessons I learned getting my bachelor's at Skagit Valley College last year and joining Leadership Skagit, I was put into a position to adjust and adapt to the times. One of my core beliefs is to be an ally and support diversity, equity, inclusion for others. One of the most important lessons I learned through Leadership Skagit was for me to be part of something bigger and to support others in our community. We all need to be willing to be vulnerable and learn hard and uncomfortable lessons. Through the willingness to be vulnerable and to learn those uncomfortable lessons, we can create a more equitable world for everyone. I will be forever grateful for the connections I've made and the personal growth that I've gone through thanks to Leadership Skagit, and I look forward to continuing to support our community.
I first was approached to join Leadership Skagit in 2015. I've always been impressed by the program, but I never seemed to have the time. I've been fortunate to visit and live in different countries, which has allowed me to experience and appreciate diversity and know that good leadership makes a difference. Working for the Mount Vernon Chamber of Commerce, I knew that eventually I would enroll. Then it came 2020, and like all my classmates, I made the time. It became more important than ever to become better leaders and work together for the sake of our community. I joined Leadership Skagit in what will probably remain as one of the most challenging times for us all. In the past 9 months, I have opened my eyes to a reality that I was not fully aware of. This is the beginning of more conscious efforts to make this a better place. We need leadership, vision, and the heart to make Skagit County a better place. This is my leadership journey, or the beginning of it.
Thinking back on last year, outside of what I've already discussed regarding my personal leadership journey and my professional life, I really came into the program wanting to learn more about the place that will soon be my family's home. My wife and I really want to be engaged in our new community, and the insight we have gained through my experience with this program has been greatly helpful. We can enter our new community not as outsiders, but as educated members and be able to make a positive impact for the betterment of the place we call home.
Once I was able to make the arrangements working around my business, it was easy to commit to Leadership Skagit. The encouragement I had from the alumni made it a no-brainer. I wanted to be one of those graduates. Starting Leadership Skagit during a pandemic, I felt like I would have all the time in the world. It shortly became a realization that this was not correct. Between work, being a mom, being a wife, and being the main support of all of the care for our animals, I quickly realized that Leadership Skagit might be too much for me to handle. With great support from my team coach, as well as others within Leadership Skagit, they pushed me to stay on track. I'm so happy that I did. I learned a lot of lessons about myself and working within a team. I've already started incorporating these lessons with boards I belong to, as well as being an employer. Leadership Skagit has also opened my eyes to the history of Skagit County, as well as current times. I've lived in Skagit County for 42 years and had no idea about a lot of things past and present. I love the relationships I have made and cannot wait for the future to have Team Happy Tail reunions.
I applied to join Leadership Skagit within the first 45 days of moving to the state of Washington. Before moving here last summer, I could not even pronounce the word Skagit correctly. I knew no one outside of the people who hired me and never even visited the place before accepting and starting my position. In my pre-PNW days, I had a very active and fulfilling personal life and professional career. I was eager to begin building the same thing here, and I hoped Leadership Skagit would help me on that path. I decided to participate in Leadership Skagit because I wanted to learn as much as possible about the county so that I could become a better civil legal advocate for those who have been historically marginalized and mistreated. And I also hope to make some new friends along the way. I believe I accomplished both of these goals. Taking the latter point first, I was initially anxious about the idea of working in small groups for a multi-months long process, especially as I started a new job. I am extremely happy that I can say that all the members of my group are now my friends. I hope to collaborate with all of them professionally and hang out personally in the future. I am also very pleased with Leadership Skagit's dedication to providing an expansive and inclusive view of the county and everyone living here. The most impactful moment for me has been listening to the stories of farm workers in my field trip to the CCS Farm Worker Center. Following my initial visit to the center and a number of follow-up conversations, we launched a new partnership between the Farm Worker Center and Skagit Legal Aid. We now host a twice-a-month clinic on site in an effort to create a safe and trusted space for potential clients to seek legal assistance. This would not have been possible without my participation in the Leadership Skagit class of 2021. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
As a team, we would like to thank our partners, Skagit Animals in Need and Skagit 4-H, our main donor, Susan Korean, as well as all those who have helped us along over the course of this program, Skagit Transit, Country Store, Skagit Valley Livestock, 4-H Club, our families, our friends, and our loving pets. We would like to give a special thank you to the Economic Development Alliance of Skagit County, Skagit Valley College, Leadership Skagit, and all the people behind the scenes who make this program possible. And to all of you, our classmates in Leadership Skagit Class of 2021, who are making a difference in our community.